once again, and I have yet another Elementalis deck to play today. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a few extra streams. I've already done some of the tournaments, and you think, third time's the charm. You would think I would remember that Twitch is going to send me a notification when I start streaming. Anyway, let me go ahead and get this set up correctly. Since I don't have two monitors yet, and probably won't for a very long time. Anyway, let me... Yep, so let me show off the deck real quick. It's another Elementalis deck. I do have more than one deck to play today, but they're both have to deal with By the Sword, one of the new campaign cards. Duration 3, friendly allies with sword attack gain +1/+1 at the end of their turn. Or at the end of the turn where they were summoned. So this just makes pretty much everything a little beefier, assuming you build your deck with nothing but sword allies. So what else do we have in here then? Well, we also have the new Higher Ground card, which gives defenders +1 attack, which is pretty good for 3 turns. But the main reason you want to play it is because of its ability. For 2 resources, an opposing ally attacks one of your friendly allies. This is way more useful than it sounds. Like, it is very useful. Even if you don't have defender, like, just forcing them to take the damage from your attack is super strong. And not only that, but it doesn't exhaust your ally, so you can attack again, doubling up on what you got there. So beyond those two, since I figured I was running so many support cards, I've got Ravencrest, Valley of Secrets, to go ahead and give us some draw every time we play one of those. And I actually have found that it's not bad to play this on turn 2 with one of the support abilities. Even though it kind of wastes one of their duration. But that's fine because you get a card. And the other reason it's fine is because it goes into the graveyard for Mimic. Mimic is actually pretty cool in this deck. It makes it so that I don't have to run so many copies of the support cards, although I run 4 by the sword anyway. But yeah, and not only that, when you use this to get one of your support cards, or any of the other abilities that you could grab here, like Sacrificial Lamb over there on the corner there, and I gotta turn Telegram noise off. Not necessarily the notifications, but the noise. There we go. Yeah, and you can also grab really most of, like, if you notice, if you look in this deck, there's actually not a lot of control tools. In fact, pretty much none besides Higher Ground and Deathmate Thaddeus and Aldmore Sentry, which I'll get to in a second. This helps get some of those from your opponent. Like, I've used it to grab things like Fireball, Assassination, that kind of stuff. Even Zale's Hymn, which was pretty hilarious to use against a priest. But yeah, and then Leyline Nexus, just because item destruction is important. But we also have this little guy. So the main problem with Valley of Secrets is the non-controller ability, which is extraordinarily powerful for your opponent. And it's just super strong. It gives them exactly what they need. Now, granted, you might be able to, use Mimic on it, but still, it's pretty strong. So sometimes it's best to place this over it, and it does a few things. One, it makes your opponent spend the shadow energy, which might prevent them from seeking. It exiles at the end of the turn, so never mind on that one. But it gives everything that you have defender. Why is that really good? Because of Higher Ground. And I actually have had it where some players actually don't get rid of this right away. Why, I'm not entirely sure, but they don't. I guess because they value their ability more than all of my creatures having defender. And I will say that it does come with a caveat of, if they actually don't get rid of it, you don't get any draw from Valley of Secrets anymore, which is something I've been trying to figure out how to solve without diluting the deck or playing something weird like Ground Shift. But I have considered ground shifts, but we'll see a little bit later. Sacrificial Lamb is in here as just a little bit of extra draw, because trust me, Zale's Hymn, Crippling Blow, Captured Prey, Enslaved the Beast, like, it shuts down so many of the allies that I want to do something with the allies that are kind of stuck there. So now let's actually talk about the allies. So the first one on here is Brutalis. He becomes a 2-5 with By the Sword out, and 2-5 is pretty good. You can also bump him up to a 3-8 with Elementalis' ability. But Dark Flare is the one that I really like, and I got the idea to try this deck from, I don't remember if it was during one of the wild cards or one of my streams. I saw somebody use Dark Flare with By the Sword, and I was just like, I gotta try it. And it's pretty good. If you play Dark Flare and buff him with Elementalis, and there's a By the Sword out, he's a 4-5 defender, and he's a 5-5 defender when you have the higher ground out. And that's nothing to joke about, especially when you can force things to attack him and he just deals 5 damage to them. I also got Keldor here. There was a few options when it came to 3 cost with a sword attack for Shadow. And so far Keldor has worked out the best. He comes out as a 3-5 with By the Sword, and the extra 2 resources there allow you to beef him up even further. And he just seems overall pretty good as far as this deck is concerned. And then we actually have Death Mage Thaddeus, who also gets buffed up by the Sword. He has sword attacks, so he comes out as a 1-5, and just, you know, the health is a little more important, but that one attack is so it has such utility, allowing you to deal, you know, 3 damage or even 2 damage if you buff him up with the ability. And you take out weapons and armor, like you just ping their durability, and it's overall just very useful. And then we have Belladonna here for draw. It's just a cantrip, but it does what it's supposed to do. She's got the sword attack, so she's a 5-3. And then we have Aldmore Sentry, who recently got changed. Just changed to a 5 cost. And he can't be disabled, which is actually pretty huge in my opinion. And then he prevents haste to the face, as I like to put it. And then his other ability actually can come in quite handy. It takes away from your ability to buff with Elementalis, but that's disabling for 2 turns is very powerful. So, and the fact that he comes out as a 3-7 or a 4-10 if you buff it after that, he is just a very beefy ally for this deck, and I think is definitely good enough to stop at, because one of the big problems with this deck is definitely the draw. Despite having 4 of these, and then the Mimic and everything, and the Sacrificial Lamb and the Belladonna, it still has trouble keeping cards in its hand. But that's also where stuff like the Keldor and the higher ground comes in, so that you can still do something on your turn, even if you don't have that many cards to play. I'd have to look at that a little bit later. Okay, because I was in the Telegram chat, this sort of discussing chat. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into some games. And speaking of chat, I'll be putting the Twitch chat up once it's sort of relevant. So let's go ahead and play a few games. And I've actually done pretty well with this deck so far. And that's pretty well by my standards. I'm still only, 249 over here. SD Saitos running a Majaya. Let's see how this works out. So looking at our opening hand here, it's not too great, but not too bad either. We definitely don't need both of those. We might end up getting rid of both of them, actually. Because as strong as it is, I want the stuff that's in my hand more than that. even in the late game. Or later parts of the game, rather. Ooh, that sucks for me. So Dark Flare typically has a bit of a problem. The same problem he's always had, where he has 1 health. And even going up to a 3-2 is not exactly fantastic, although it does save him from the Death Mage ping. So I think what we're actually going to do is we're going to sacrifice this and then play by the sword. Because next turn we can play the Death Mage Thaddeus and maybe buff him up depending on the board state. And then the turn after that, we can play 2 Dark Flares, which will both get buffed up by the sword. Because that's the thing. Even though by the sword only buffs up the ally 1 time, it can buff up many allies at once, which is not to be ignored at all. And you were just a turn too late, Valley of Secrets. So I'm actually going to toss away the Mimic this time, I think. That or the Aldmore Sentry. Actually, I think I'm going to play a little science here. I usually don't throw them away, but let's see how it ends up working out. Because we do need this, and we can get this to use this to get by the sword back. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Death Mage out. Go ahead and ping that a little bit. And to prevent it from being killed off by a Lightning Strike, I'm just going to go ahead and buff it and make it a 2-8. Doop! 2-8. By the sword! We will slay this awesome dragon thing. Or Uragon, I guess. I'm not sure if that's actually a dragon. Coming in, dealing quite a lot of damage, but we dealt a lot of damage too. So there's Keldor there, but I actually think I'm going to toss him. And we're going to play 2 Dark Flares. So, we definitely want to get rid of this thing. Yeah, this is fine. So we're not going to play Valley of Secrets until it's going to give us a card, because the last thing we need is for her to seek a Supernova or something. Or an Arcane Burst. Oh man, if he plays Arcane Burst, I'm just going to concede and quit the stream. Ooh, a Dark Riding Hood. Gotta admit, didn't see that coming. Don't know why, considering that card's actually pretty popular now, because it's pretty good. But let's see. By the Sword's gonna last. Oh, nope, it's gone. So this is where Mimic comes in handy. So we're gonna play Valley of Secrets. We're gonna play Mimic here. And actually, can I get the? I could get the Fireball or the Bad Santa. It's an interesting choice. But I think I'm gonna go with good old By the Sword here. Draw a card, and we got a Dark Flare to play, so that's pretty good. Go ahead and do that, and we'll jump in and kill the traitor here. So a Lightning Strike would still hurt, so would an Arcane Burst, but I highly doubt we're going to run into Arcane Burst. Even though I really don't think Arcane Burst is that bad, I just don't think that there's a lot of decks like this one around to justify running it. Where there's just low-cost stuff that you can just ping to death. What would you even want from my deck? I guess an Aldmore Sentry would be pretty good. Fireball coming in to take care of one of these guys. Oh, man. At least they're tanking the fireballs, though. That's pretty good. But now I'm left with no draw again, which makes me always question what I should be making, or what changes I should be making in this deck. So we're going to go ahead and toss this guy out. He's going to become a 4/7. Now I'm trying to think here. Let's see, if he fireballs it as a 7, there'll be 3 left. He could fireball and lightning strike next turn. Then again, he did use he's used 3 of his fireballs. The chances of him having the 4th one seems very unlikely to me. Please don't have please don't have transmogrification curse. That would really bite. Something tells me I really shouldn't have buffed it, but we'll find out. Seeking an ability. The harder they fall? Okay. Okay. We're starting off interesting. And he just stole Deathmage Thaddeus. Caught it in the glimpse there. Yep, higher ground's not really going to help me that much, but it is going to let me draw one, and there's Keldor, which is not going to survive anything, practically. Well, that's not strictly true. He does need 1 damage, but he's a mage, so... But, if Keldor survives, then we can actually wipe his board. There's the 4th fireball. Dang it. Alright, well there's another Aldmore Sentry at least. Which is just gonna die if I play it now. Yep, I've pretty much lost this one. Just sort of reading through the Telegram chat. The big discussion topic is where where Shadow Era should be discussed at in-game, Telegram, Discord, Reddit, when really it's pretty much all of those. It's going to be, in my opinion, in-game, forum/Reddit, and whatever place the community decides to gather outside of the game, which is actually very common in most games nowadays. Well, I pretty much lost. And so I'm going to go ahead and concede because ain't nothing more happening here. So not getting that early Valley of Secrets hurts. And this is going to be a tough matchup. Yeah, once again, that's really another problem with relying on Valley of Secrets for draw is, well, you don't get it. You're paying 1 more for all of your support cards and stuff like that. You're not getting the draw off of them, which makes them worse for you, but we still have a little bit to go before we're going to draw another card before then. I've actually been considering bumping that up to 3 copies. Okay. We can ditch one of the By the Swords because we have Mimic. So I think we're going to go ahead and play it and do sort of what we did last time, where we play Keldor, or better yet, if we draw Deathmage Thaddeus, we'll play him. And then we'll play the 2 Dark Flayers. Ooh, that's a strong opening from him. God, there's just not enough room. Maybe I should make this like a 50 card deck. Put in a lot more draw like Bad Santa or something. Just to add in room for stuff like a board wipe. But then that makes getting the location so much harder. That's why I wish we had a card that lets you seek a location. Okay, so we'll go ahead and play Keldor, who... yeah, he has enough damage on board to take care of Keldor, so I think we'll go ahead and buff him up. Make him that 4/8. Fireball comes in again. He's gonna sacrifice his Christopher Wild and then attack in. Hopefully he'll use this to attack first before it loses its buff, but it looks like... Yep, looks like he's not going to do that, although I made the mistake yesterday while playing. I went to DMT ping Champion of Arum and was like, oh yeah, that's right. It gains the +1. Ooh, okay. I think we're actually going to get rid of the Mimic. We don't have the location anyway. And we're going to play these. Now, one of them is going down for sure. Or, well, I say that, but a Lightning Strike will do it. His ability next turn will do it. He can attack one of them and still live. Yep, pretty much Telegram's just full of people discussing that, so... Oh, cool, we got Deathmage Thaddeus. No more by the sword, though, so never mind. So I think what will have to happen is this plus DMT. And then next turn we can play the Sentry there. Okay. So he didn't use his ability. In fact, I looked away. Yep, I'm thinking we just play to him. I could buff Deathmage Thaddeus. He'll eat the other one and go up to 5 attack. So that plus that. Yeah, I think we're... Ugh. That'll go up to 9. 4 plus 5 is 9. But that won't survive. That's right. That's not going to survive if I do it this way. That's at the end of the turn, right? Yeah, so there. And then we're going to buff the sentry here. Okay, he's got no cards either, so maybe we can come back. There comes in a fireball. Blah. Okay. So that thing did survive because he didn't use his ability. Because that fireball made it possible. If only I had Valley of Secrets out, I could get rid of this thing. Easy peasy. But I don't, so we're going to do this and hope he doesn't draw another ally. Granted, he could just wipe the board normally anyway, but, you know, if he draws another ally, then he doesn't need to wipe the board. Okay, so we're going to skip here. Get a draw, which is another Belladonna, but that's okay. There's that, the Valley of Secrets finally. So we're still gonna skip and just play Belladonna. Oh my gosh. We're gonna go ahead and buff and make sure this one lives. Actually, probably shouldn't have done that. Okay. So there's still no reason to play anything else. Kind of bites that we're gonna lose one of the Belladonnas, but oh well. We'll probably end up sacrificing her. Okay, so skip. We're gonna do by the sword, drawing a card, and there's a Keldor. So we're actually gonna play Keldor and not play Sacrificial Lamb, even though I really kind of want to before he draws another Lightning Strike. But here we go. By the way, Belladonna comes out as a 6/6 when you have by the sword and Elementalis' ability. So it's a brutal Minotaur that doesn't cost you 2 damage when it dies. Okay. Ooh, that's a big one. But we can handle it. Yep, we can handle it. I'm debating whether or not using the sacrificial lamb, though. Because if I use the sacrificial lamb, there's a good chance of drawing high ground or mimic. Or do I just use the 5 damage and get rid of that? I'm going to go with the sacrificial lamb play. And we didn't get either. That really bites. I think we're going to play another Keldor. And the location. Don't need him seeking anything good. And then I know I had an app mention. Yep, I'm just getting a couple questions about Steam. More about what Steam is and what people use it for rather than the actual release that we're going to have on it. So, oh, I almost hit enter. Whew! Okay, so we're going to buff up Keldor here. Bring him up to the 6 attack that he's going to need here. And we're going to go ahead and do that. And I made a mistake. Always draw first. Always draw first. Didn't change the outcome, but maybe could have. Yep, and he's going to seek an ability, just like I don't want him to. Probably Supernova if I had to guess. I mean, maybe Lightning Strike is sufficient enough, but Supernova is definitely where it would be at. Although we do have cards now, so it's not like we're hurting that bad. Okay. Man, that's a heated conversation. Yeah, I'm thinking buy the sword with Mimic is probably best. Mimic will cost us 2. So, don't think we're going to need this. So we're going to play Mimic, and then we're going to get by the sword back. And then, ooh, that's way better. Yeah, this is way better. We're going to play the Death Mage Thaddeus and the Brutalis. Ooh, he could be a pretty good card. When am I going to turn my phone on vibrate? That is the old question. Okay. Yep, so this is looking pretty good here. We can deal 5 damage, so we can kill him. Skip that. In fact, let's just go ahead and do that. In fact, I'm going to sacrifice the Death Mage Thaddeus anyway, so let's go ahead and have him tank the damage. Hopefully we'll get some pretty good cards to play. Wow, we did not get pretty good cards to play. I shouldn't have gotten involved in this conversation right before the stream. Oh well. So we do have another copy of By the Sword to use. We're going to go ahead and toss this for the extra resource. I doubt he's going to get rid of it. And now the big question is, do I actually have the ability to end the game this turn? I don't think that I do, because that's 6. So we're actually going to ability. Take care of that. See, if I could keep getting cards and stuff, this deck has a really good presence, and not to mention, just like most of my decks, mages and priests are pretty bad matchups. Ouch. I win now, though. Very close game. 1 hit point. Yep, I think I'm gonna stay out of the rest of that. Nope, no, no, no. Battle. I do have another deck that has By the Sword in it. Or at the very least, I'm thinking of one. I don't remember if I created it last night. I know that I put some of it together, but I don't remember if I hit save. Alright. Go ahead and toss one of these since we do have the Mimic. We're going to go ahead and play Dark Flare. Hopefully we won't have to sacrifice it. Okay. Let's toss him. That sucks, but not as bad as you think it does. So, I hate our sacrifice choices right now. I think I'm going to have to ditch the Mimic. So we're going to buff Deathmage Thaddeus. He's going to, hold on, combat damage, yeah. Come in, ping that. We're going to lose the Dark Flare here, but that's okay. Get a cantrip there. Said I was going to stay out of it, but I'm very bad at that apparently. Alright, so I think we're going to play the Brutalis, sacrifice him for the 2 cards. Not great, but better than nothing. Wait, what happened to my... Oh, no, she took it. No. No. Okay. You minimizing Telegram. Ah, thanks for the host, Biff McSkylark. Thank you very much. Now I definitely need to pay more attention. Alright, so... Higher Ground. I definitely wanted to play it with the... He's just gonna kill it next turn. So I'm thinking... Oh wait, I've got Leyline Nexus. What am I doing? Kill that off with Leyline Nexus. And then just deal the 3 damage. Hopefully we'll get either buy the sword or another copy of the location, which I think I sacrificed one already too, so that was a mistake. And there goes another one. Oh, Bad Santa, thank you very much. Priest of the Light sucks. But it's okay, we can take care of it. I just don't get my buff this turn. But again, that's okay. Alright, so we're going to just skip, and we're going to play Keldor and a Dark Flare. And then we're going to use good old Deathmage Thaddeus here. So, next turn, we can actually deal quite a lot of damage to him by playing High Ground and Braxno Citadel. So we just have to go a little longer. If he has another weapon, that's really gonna suck. Coercion sucks. Didn't use the ability for some reason. There's another Santa Bomb on me, though. That really sucks. We can get by the sword back now, though. But, is that what we want to do? Oh, no, we can't, because we haven't played it yet. Never mind. I think we can discard one of these, though. So, I'm going to go ahead and play the Dark Flare. And the High Ground. For some reason, I thought I could play the Deathmage Thaddeus, but I remember unique is the thing. Go ahead and buff him up so, I don't know, maybe he'll get 4 damage in, which 4 damage is not insignificant right now. So, we're doing pretty good. Next turn, we can buff up the other 2 allies as well. You know, I could have actually done it this turn. Or no, because Keldor it would only be 1 point. It wouldn't be worth it. Assassination, that sucks. For me, not him. Armored Pack Beast. So let's see, we can deal 9 damage. We can actually deal 11 damage. Which I think is actually worth it at this point. Because we can... So I'm actually going to go ahead and play Braxnell Citadel. Then we're going to buff up Keldor here to 5. Why did I think it would be 6? Huh. Anyway. So 5 is enough to take that thing out, so we're going to just go ahead and use our resources to make that happen. Or no, he has no attack. But we can just go ahead and do this. Anyway. Do that, and then go ahead and just take out the Armored Pack Beast. So that worked out a little better in my head, but I gotta remember that 0 attack does not, it won't attack, it can't attack when it has 0, so it wouldn't have done anything. Another Coercion, so we're gonna see Deathmage Thaddeus go down. Or not, because it loses the effect. Now, I'm not sure what happened there. He used the ability and didn't get the +2? Is that how I saw it? Oh, maybe because it already had the +2. That's kind of strange. That might be a bug. I might have to report that one. Yep, I think just playing a big solid dude right now is what I want. Go ahead and deal the 3 damage. He disconnected. Don't know if he conceded, but it definitely showed the disconnection, so... So yeah, basically the main problem that I have, or that this deck has, is getting the Valley of Secrets. Once you you get it though and can get by the sword, the deck usually does pretty good. It's just getting that Valley of Secrets that's the problem, and why the second deck that I have might not have that problem. In fact, I'm probably going to switch over to it. We'll see. So the other deck is a rogue deck. I haven't really decided which hero. Probably Garth, but there's a lot more choices for By the Sword when it comes to the human side. But rogues have a surprisingly good support ability in lay low. No, I'm just kidding. In reconnaissance, when you play that with Valley of Secrets, you get 2 cards, and everything on your board gets +1 attack. And you get to see your opponent's hand. So let's go ahead and see if I actually made that. I think I made it a Lance deck. Lance. There you are, Lance. No, I have not made the deck. Darn, I did not hit save. Okay, that's fine. We'll start off with Garth then, because I think Garth actually might be better for this since his ability costs less. Where are you, Garth? There you are. No, Lord. So now I'm going to have to remember... now I'm going to have to remember what was in this deck, but if we go to ability, support abilities, we've got reconnaissance right here. So, look at your opponent's hand, draw a card, which you'll draw 2 with Valley of Secrets, and it will only cost you 2, and then your allies have +1 attack until the end of the turn. So that's actually not too shabby. So we're just going to plop 4 in there for now. Same goes with By the Sword. And I'm going to put Higher Ground in here for now, but we might actually take it out in favor of Reconnaissance, since there isn't anything that just innately has Defender in the deck. But then, as you can see here, we've actually still got a few more support options here, like Payday, which is not that great. At least not in Garth. We have Sanctuary, we have Ground Shift, like I mentioned before, but Cover of Night, giving everything stealth is not too shabby. Excuse me. And then Stand Firm gives everything steadfast, although we had that option before. Moment of Acquiescence. I mean, that's an option, it's not a terrible card by any means. In fact, it's a very good card, maybe too good in certain decks, but So I think we'll stick with these 3 for now and see how far we can get with that. But I'm thinking about exchanging Higher Ground, like maybe 2 copies of it, for Cover of Night or Stand Firm. We'll see. So let's go ahead and grab the location again, because yes, we still will be using Valley of Secrets. And I think I'll just toss in 2 of those, just because I really like what you can do with that in Higher Ground. But then we have the big thing of what allies do we run? So definitely running the cheaper, or allies on the cheaper end, allows you to spam them more, but then you run out of cards more. So I really think just playing solid allies is better. So definitely going to get some... See, he's pretty good. I actually thought about running Mass Bandit, but doesn't really matter how much health he has. If he takes 1 damage, he's gone. We do have Alden, though, and Alden is super good in general. I also did try running the Caravan Smuggler. He's good with By the Sword. 2/6 is not too shabby for 2. In fact, it's actually pretty good. But just that resource gain that your opponent's more than likely going to get, it just isn't worth the risk. But I did give him a solid like 5 games, so just gotta decide which one of these I want, because like I said, there's a lot more sword allies for humans. So I'm thinking, Nightshade's not too shabby, especially because he has Ambush. And coming out as a 2/3 is not too bad. He basically becomes a Pooin with stealth and ambush. Yeah, I kind of like this. We'll go with a couple Nightshades. I want at least 6 two drops though, so we need another one. See, I'm thinking him just because it makes him so much tougher, but he also dies to abilities easier. So like Lightning Strike would still kill him when he gets buffed. Yeah, I don't particularly like that. Could go with the Aldmore Interceptor though. In fact, I think that's what we're gonna go with actually. Yeah, let's go with 3 of you, and then 3 of the Nightshade. This death is already getting so beefy because so much of it was dedicated to the support abilities. Alright, so 3 costs, we've already got the Alden, but we definitely... I'm kind of envisioning a similar problem where we would want to use resources on other things, so I'm thinking Jasmine. Fleet-footed Messenger is not too bad. Larian Seductress is not bad either, a 3/5. Zetian Trader. No. Can you summon an item? No. Twilight Shepherdess does come out as a 2/7. That's really beefy. But I don't think the extra resources would do us much good. Twilight Orphic's not bad. And sorry guys, I really meant to have this done already. I thought I did it last night, but I guess not. Oh yeah, that's right, the Larian Sentinel's here. Yeah. Okay. So we don't have anything like Belladonna. So I think, we've got the Tainted Oracle, actually. Tainted Oracle's not too bad. I've also considered Mystic of the Veil. Yeah, let's go with Mystic of the Veil, actually. Let's go with 3 copies of that. And then we'll also go with 3 copies of the Tainted Oracle. I'm probably going to trim a little more. Is there a 5-cost ally that we need, though? Man, there's so many good allies for this. Windfield Sailor's not too shabby. Although it's better than Lance where you can haste it in. We got Erica, we got Raven, Brack Soldier. I think we'll try with this lower end stuff and see how it goes. Because I really think there's a lot of options here. But let's see. Item. Where are you? There you are. Go ahead and put in 4 of the ill-gotten gains. Or maybe hit list, actually. I think hit list might be better. And then ability. I definitely want 2 stop thieves without question. And 3 assassinations. Okay. So now we can trim down a little bit. Let's go with 3 of those. That's looking fine. Maybe we just ditch the higher grounds. No. We'll get rid of 1. And then get rid of the Citadel this time around. That's looking a lot better. We managed to get it down to 43. And then what deck is not complete? about sleeves and playmats. What should we go with? I really just like this sleeve because it's so simple. It's so simple. It's just a darkened background, one of the background, and just has the logo there. It almost looks like a upgraded version of the basic one. And then playmats are usually the one that I have the tough time with because I don't particularly like a lot of the playmats we have, but that's just me. We'll go with Elos's Resolve there. That's right, I actually have quite a few Garth stacks, don't I? Don't know what's in slot 3, but it's going away. So let's try this one out. Man, I wish I would have saved the one I had last night. Oh well. Alright. I'm actually kind of liking this hand here. Looks like we've got Be Mad. He's got us going with the Spark Rush. Might need that. We shall see. I think I'm free to throw away one of the hit lists. We're going to go ahead and play Nightshade, I think. Or maybe we play hit list instead. Yes. Then again, Nightshade plus Reconnaissance would have been a thing. Oh, there's Frostmare coming in. So we're going to take a wallop right off the bat. But now he has no cards. He has no cards. They're all on the board. But that's okay. We can actually use our ping to get rid of the spark there. Get rid of one of these. So I'm actually questioning whether or not to play Valley of Secrets because I don't want to give him the ability to just seek things. But live and learn? Yeah, I think so. Live and learn. Hanging on the edge of tomorrow. Live and learn. Speaking of living and learning, I should have drawn first. So there's our 2-3 there. So he's going to be able to start taking out stuff, and we can actually... Ooh, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Ooh, coming back from that's actually going to be pretty rough. But I think it's doable. Get rid of one of the higher grounds. Then we play the higher ground. Ooh. No, Alden's not better here. So basically what we do... No, this doesn't work. No. Okay, I might have to replace Nightshade then. Because I just realized they're not going to be able to attack Nightshade because he's stealthed. Darn it. Darn it, darn it. I really need to get rid of more than just one thing. And the best way to do that is just to play more things. So he can deal 5 damage to me this turn. Which means I have roughly 4 turns to beat him. Never mind, he's just going to seek Bloodlust. I knew that playing that was a bad idea, and I did it anyway. Anyways, let's hop into the next one. What is this hand? So we're definitely playing by the sword first. Yep, so getting rid of one of by the swords. Just one of them. So this isn't like the Elementalis deck where I can use Mimic. Carnivore coming out. Good thing he can't touch this. Anyway, we'll go ahead and get rid of one of these. Because I think we're going to go ahead and do this and buy the sword. There's a hit list. I need to minimize Telegram again. Gamma Masher. Oh, that sucks. And he's going to go ahead and search for an ability. Man, see, that's the thing that just kills Valley of Secrets. It really makes me wish that it was like on its own support card or an item or an artifact or something. Like the non-control ability just kills this card. It really does. It's already bad enough that you need it to draw to make all your support abilities worth playing. Ugh. Okay. At least I have one attack. Can do something with that. We'll probably just assassinate this Grimghast though, because that really does sort of get in the way. Or, you know, could assassinate the Death Mage Thaddeus that poses a threat. Okay. Get rid of this copy. I'm actually trying to see if there's a way to get around this, and I think there is actually. Reconnaissance plus ability plus hit list is actually probably my best play. So we're going to play Reconnaissance and draw 2 cards. Count them, 2 cards. Yeah. Then we're going to play hit list. And we're going to ability that Death Mage. So he's got a bizarre Crystal Titan. Don't see that often. I actually think he's a decent card, by the way. And then Shadow Font. Yeah, see, it's like this deck gets rid of the draw problem, kind of. But I don't, maybe, I don't know. Need to play with it more. This is only the second game. It's too early to judge. I've played like 15 to 20 games with the other one. I played quite a lot yesterday. Quite a lot. But it also might be a case of where my ally choices are just not so good. Because Mystic of the Veil, I think, is good because of all the attachments that float around. Kind of the reason why I included Sacrificial Lamb. But maybe I don't need so many copies of it. Ugh. I'm going to have to deal with an Exaltation. Okay, game. Alright, buy the sword. Thankfully, will only cost 1 resource. And we need to keep this alive. The reason being is so that we can assassinate whatever he plays Exaltation on. I just realized that that's gonna grow, so probably should have hit the Crystal Titan instead. Yep, that's what I was afraid of, although he didn't use the Exaltation, so that was surprising. That's gonna go on the Crystal Titan. Okay. Okay, so sacrifice this, and we're going to play the Assassination, get rid of that Crystal Titan, that 9/7 Crystal Titan. Yeah, probably this one. Man, that's dampening my damage a lot, but we're getting there. We are getting there. Next turn we can take care of it. Barring, you know, him searching for another Exaltation and playing that on it. Yep, there we go. And I just thought of another problem with oh yeah, with Cover of Night. Pretty much all of their damage will go to my hero all the time. But then again, I guess if I have a board, that's not really a big deal. Man, if this wasn't here, if this was not here, let's see. Well, your hero has more shadow energy, so yeah, this will gain haste, but not the +1 attack. But thankfully, we can do that. And slowly start whittling down this one. And screw bouncing that back into his hand. I'm going to just kill this. Just come on. I actually thought he was going to use that to grab another Exaltation, but I guess not. Okay. Skip for sure. So let's see, that'd be 1. Well, I guess I can just disable it again, actually. So yeah, and then we just get rid of it actually. No ability necessary. Bring it down to 4. Then don't think that's worth it. This will draw us a card though. So should have done that first. Yeah, now it's actually worth it. So we can use the ability here. See, if I had drawn first, that would have made a significant difference. So again, draw first, people. Draw first. It makes a difference. See, those are the attack numbers I was hoping to see. Could have put some of that on Elementalis, probably. Holman Savage is a bit tough to deal with, especially if he has Exaltation, but good news is I can still use the Interceptor. Energy Discharge. Okay, that's not what I was expecting to see out of that. Uh-oh. Well, crud. So all these allies gonna die. All combat damage is reduced to 0. Well, that really bites. Not much I can do there. He didn't use Energy Discharge? Are you kidding me? Why not? Okay, well, my gain then. Wish I could just one-shot that. Or do I even need to do that? Let's see. 3, 6, 10, 12, I think? Yeah, 12, no, 13. So not enough to win the day, but we shall get started here. Okay, so that happened. That's going to go down to 3 anyway. So what I really should have done was this first. So not very smart on my part, but that's okay. And just attack in. There's no way he doesn't play it this next turn. There's no way. He loses if he doesn't. got asked to do something real quick, so I went ahead and took care of that. Yep, so everything is dead, and I have no allies. Draw first. Okay, well, it didn't matter in this case. Ugh. Yep, so not looking good here. Mind control, no. No. That means he wins. Wait, no it doesn't. Because I have more shadow energy. Haste. Assassination. Take this. Okay. So he doesn't win quite yet. Oh man, that was scary. Oh man, Mango with the perfect timing, with the perfect timed GIF of, I don't remember what movie it's from. I think it might be, I really don't know, but it's like some guy burning in lava and he just sort of thumbs up as he goes down. I don't really watch that many movies, so I have no idea what movie that's from. Like, people get real surprised when I tell them I've never seen stuff like The Matrix or Alien or I've seen like one Hobbit movie and one Lord of the Rings movie. Yeah, just don't really watch that many movies. Oh man, winning this is gonna be so tough, especially if he's still got to have that mind control, right? So I can play both of these next turn, and I think I'm going to, or this turn actually. I really don't think there's anything to stop Thief anymore, so we're gonna play both of these. And leave it at that. And that's actually game. I'm dumb. Oh well. Oh well. What I should have done instead, and I was like, oh, that might work, is had him attack the Tainted Oracle with high ground. Oh well. That was my mistake. Mistakes are still bound to be had. Alright. Let's just hop into another one so I can really sort of pinpoint where or what I don't like about the deck. See, typically that's advice from me. I'm not like the best player ever, but I generally think that when you make a deck, play at least 5 games before you do anything to it. Because it really helps show or give you a better understanding of what is in your way. Right now, that's in my way. Was this one of the special... Was the artwork for this one of the special sleeves and playmats? If so, I want to get that at some point. Yes. Yes, I am. Mango was asking if I was using Valley of Secrets, and the answer is yes. Okay. I think we'll get rid of that one. It also draws you a card, which is the main reason why I want to play it. There it is. Okay, cool. Means I should have saved. I should have played hit list instead, but I wasn't counting on drawing. Like legit, wasn't counting on drawing it, which is probably a good thing. Problem: don't really want to get rid of anything that I have in my hand right now, but I think maybe the Stop Thief. Yep, you can definitely do that. Too bad there's not that many defenders. We have enough to just play hit lists, so that's fine. I was hoping to draw into another 2-cost. I should have kept Interceptor. Again, I'm not... It's new deck, not going to play it perfectly right away. But see, that's the reason why I've thought about having more 2-cost allies instead, because of the turn 3 buy the sword plus the 2-cost. Assuming you have Valley of Secrets. And there we go, another Seek of the ability. The only reason why I don't like Valley of Secrets, really. Like, if that cost 3 Shadow Energy, I think it would be okay then. But 2 is just so... it's too little. I don't think the value you get from Valley of Secrets is worth giving them that ability. But it worked out somewhat in our favor this time, because he got rid of it, I guess. And by that, I pretty much just mean he could have done worse stuff with that Seek in the long run. There's Stop Thief coming in to hit the hit list, which really sucks, but that's okay. We got a Reconnaissance, which is not going to draw us the 2 cards that we wanted to draw, but it will still draw us a card. And give us some insight to his hand. Yep. Wish I would have kept the Stop Thief, but I guess there was nothing I could do. It was in too tough a spot. Suppose I could have not sacrificed that turn, but that also seems not so great. Ankle Breaker! Granted, I guess I don't really care if he kills the Tainted Oracle. Okay, so Buy the Sword's not going to give us any card draw anymore, so I think I'm just going to play the Tainted Oracle on his own. Yep, and another thing, Mango, is you can combine Higher Ground and Braxno's Citadel together to make any of your allies a defender. It really makes Higher Ground powerful once you play that. And you know, maybe I'm putting too much stock in Valley of Secrets. Maybe I don't need the Valley of Secrets, but the fact that it makes all the support abilities cost 1 less, practically. It renews 1 resource, which basically prevents you from playing like a 3-cost support ability on turn 2, but still. In the long run, they technically cost 1 less. Hey, an Assassinate. That's pretty good. That, along with the hit list, is really good. Or I could just, you know, be smart about it and use my Shadow Energy to gain card advantage. And play something else instead of Assassinate. Save that Assassinate. Go ahead and play Alden, I think. Because he's bound to haste something in, but we'll see. Yep, that's a pretty big one. definitely not going to be able to handle that right away. Hmm. Well, the good thing is, he didn't kill it. I can now use Assassinate, even if it's disabled. Or, well, I can do that, right? Because it's just not exhausted. Or disabled, dang. No. So never mind on that. Well, I think that's pretty much game. I think I've got time for one more. It's the thing about December. December is like my busiest month because of family. So many things to go do. That's why I started a lot earlier this time around. But like I said, I'll be doing extra streams, even if they're shorter, on the shorter end. Not to mention, we still have the December 9th and 10th with the World Championships coming up. Both Gondorian and I will be streaming on the first day because there's going to be a lot of games to cover. We want to try and cover as much of it as possible. All right. So this is an interesting hand. Genuinely not sure what to throw away. Maybe the Mystic of the Veil. Yeah, and then Boris. He doesn't care how much health my allies have. Man, he's got to make such a tough decision whether or not to attack with that Chris. He's thinking to himself, is this one damage really going to matter? Should I have not played Christopher Wilde? Okay, this is definitely going to be one of those cases where I play this on turn 2 because of the Sentinel here. Because I can toss out the Sentinel and then make it attack something, which I need 2 resources for. So I don't know what I'm talking about. But, you know, even without Valley of Secrets, I genuinely think that Higher Ground and By the Sword are good cards. Just maybe not in the same deck without Valley of Secrets. But, like, By the Sword is just +1/+1 for things that you play, especially if you're going to play a lot of, like I said at the beginning of this, the fact that it may only buff things once, but it can buff a lot of things if you manage to play them. So, like, let's say on, like, turn 5 you play a 3 cost and buy the sword, and it buffs that 3 cost. Then on turn 6 you could play 3 2 cost allies, like even 3 Laerian Knights, and you just played three fours with, you know, combat damage reduction. Like that's pretty beefy. That's a lot of cards though, and unlikely to happen, but that's not my point. So we'll get rid of one of those, and we'll go ahead and play the Laerian Sentinel. Huh. Just random thought here that our casting cost is on the left. Most other games, it's on the right. Just one of those random things I just so happen to notice. I really hope he doesn't think his Christopher can kill that now. He didn't attack with the Christopher. Okay. That works for me. And what happened to... He must have sought something while I noticed that. So... Yep, we're just gonna play... Actually, I'm gonna play By the Sword. Oh, and there's Reconnaissance, so I can draw 2 cards now. But I might save that for next turn. Have Chris attack into my Sentinel here, so that my Sentinel can throw 2 damage towards Boris's way. Then again, I suppose it was likely I could have drawn into a 2-drop to play, but oh well, that's okay. There's the Seeking ability once again. I actually don't think that's benefiting the Boris that much, although he could grab a... Probably wouldn't hurt him to grab a Blood Frenzy or something, but I think his ability is super important. That extra health is not going to help you. Especially not when I get that Mystic of the Veil out and need to deal 10 damage. Alright, so Higher Ground is up. Yeah, I think we're going to ditch the other By the Sword here. Why haven't you played that? Well, I guess I could have destroyed it, but still. Then again, I always fear Marshland Sentinel. That thing is terrifying to me. It's just like every single card you play, yeah, I'm going to just bring that down to 0 attack, if you don't mind. I mean, like, there's a warrior card that has that same effect, but it costs 3 shadow energy. Something gauntlets. That's bothering me. I'm going to pull up a card list real quick. Oh, what is that card called? I know that it's a warrior armor. Punisher's Gauntlets, that's what it's called. Okay, so the Raven came out along with a Lithian Shackles, rather. But that's okay. If he can't attack, then he can just assassinate. And we have more Shadow Energy, so there's a bonus attack there. And another buff from By the Sword! I'm trying to think of a suggestion for Valley of Secrets, because I want the card to be just a little bit better than it is now. Because see, like when I think about the non-controller ability, all I can remember is that really old Magia ability that's like it was like 2 Shadow Energy, draw a card, and that was very like broken. And but playing this gives your opponent 2 Shadow Energy, seek the exact ability that you want. Although drawing a card could get you an ally or an item, but still, most decks rely on a lot of abilities. So I'm wondering if they could do something to make it less repeatable if it still sticks at 2 Shadow Energy. Or just make it 3 Shadow Energy, because then I think that actually might be a fair ability. But, So we're going to go ahead and draw first. And it's important to draw first. So we're going to just go ahead and come in with a lot of damage. Now granted, any suggestion I make is just that, a suggestion. It holds about as much weight as anyone else's suggestions, which do get looked at, by the way. Assuming we don't miss them. Like, the ones on the forums are pretty easy to find, but, like, the ones in Telegram, maybe not so much. Alright, well, now I gotta make the choice between waiting for Stop Thief, which it's pretty much not a choice. I'm just not gonna wait for the Stop Thief. Leave something up. There's that Marshland Sentinel. Thankfully, I can deal with it. I think. I haven't been keeping track of how long I've had that higher ground out for. That and he could just cripple it now by searching for a crippling blow or something along those lines. What you gonna grab? What you gonna grab? When Garth comes for you. I don't know. There, crippling blow. Granted, now that I think about it, it doesn't really matter, because I can just bounce the crippling blow back. No matter who he puts it on. And I think he just realized that himself. You don't fight Mystic of the Veil that often, so it's not something that's usually in the forefront of your mind. But I don't mind paying the... I believe it's 2 resources. Yeah, 2 resources to return the attachment. Yep, so he decides not to do it. Skip. We're going to play Reconnaissance here. Okay.
have the Marshland Sentinel come in on the Laerian Sentinel. We have 2 Sentinels in the game now. Just now realizing that. And let's go ahead and get rid of the armor, I think. Let's just go ahead and do that. These guys should unfreeze, yep. And that's game. Well, I hope that everyone watching had a good time. I am unfortunately going to have to go ahead and go. But just keep an eye out. My streams, the extra streams are going to be random pretty much when I find myself with the time. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will definitely see you on the 9th, unless you go watch Gondorian's stream. But still, either way, see you guys during the World Champions, and I hope you guys have a good weekend. See you later. Bye.